This is wild, this is pretty black. True with the triple fact. You ain't never placed a bigger bet. You ain't never seen a bigger threat. This is wild, getting really with my bag of illy. Iced out on the sand like a jelly willy. You ain't never placed a bigger bet. This is wild, it's a triple threat. In this world that's been frozen, it come be a chosen. Rising from the dead, overthrown, be a motion. No sense of evil, control and I'm evil. This is wild, and the winds from this lethal. Boy, 22, storming through, I can see you. Strike a match like a sun, watch the preview. Life is a gameplay, one score reviews. 2, 3, it's the view in line, we are true to. This is wild, this is pretty bad. True with the triple fact. You ain't never placed a bigger bet. You ain't never seen a bigger threat. This is how I really talk. Fuck what you really want. Not really pots and top. Silly pop. Like the Cola Cat. Ice like the polar cat. Genre is illy rock. So classic, you'll be fat. Yo, phantom power. My anthem was fight the power. The truth is of which I write. And which I recite the power is how I spit. My night till this very time. An hour with disrespect. A light we shine. Let's be ourselves. Let's be ourselves. So you can live in this world like me, the chosen few for the outlast me. This is wild, this is pretty bad. True with the triple fact. You ain't never placed a bigger bet. You ain't never seen a bigger threat. This is wild, getting really up my bag of illy. Iced out on the sand like a jelly willy. You ain't never placed a bigger bet. This is wild, it's a triple threat.
Burning cities down, people. They're burning cities down. You know why? It's part of the plan. You see, they were supposed to put us into martial law under Hillary. Pre-planned Hillary Clinton. Yeah, she was pre-planned. They didn't think they'd lose. They thought they had it in the bag. Anyways, they're burning down cities because they want these right here. They want those mega cities. That's what they want for America. A few mega cities walled off from the wasteless land, the lawless land, where we stay in chaos to divide. And they're hoping we'll run the sanctuary cities and take the chip and stack pack, and yeah, that's what they want for America. A third world, open borders, so they can keep trafficking and keep all their illegal shit that they do, bring in all the people they want. They really want this one world, the whole world, locked into lockstep. Agenda 21. You people you're helping them. America, you're helping them. Wake up. Wake up. We're gonna go back in time, and I think it's time you guys start seeing who the fuck we're really up against, who the New World Order is. All roads lead to Rome. Johnny Cage. And this is the real Mortal Kombat. This is the book. This is our Constitution. This is our permit. This is our tyrant hunting permit. Okay? All commies and tyrants in this land. We can hunt them. We can hunt them all day long with this book. If you people would stop fighting each other. That's what they want. That's what the one world wants. Us to stay in chaos and fight ourselves. Make their job easier of population control because we're killing ourselves. Burning our own cities down. Stupid, guys, stupid. You ready for history? Let's get into some history. We've been warned. And establishment, I'm just going to pause it as we go and I'll fill you in. Let's go.
Other economic models are possible. It's much easier to find a vaccine for the coronavirus than for the virus of selfishness, war, and the possibility of having a more equitable distribution of wealth than what we have now. The Superior General of the Jesuits says the challenge is for everyone, as even democracy could become a victim of the pandemic.
It's time now to talk about the Jesuits, and Napoleon knew the Jesuits through Adam Weishaupt's involvement in the French Revolution, and this is what he said about them. The Jesuits are a military organization, not a religious order. Their chief is a general of an army, not the mere father abbot of a monastery. Their aim is power, absolute universal power, to control the world by the volition of a single man. And that's because Ignatius Loyola was a military man in the past, and he was from the Basque region in Spain and was a Marrano Jew. Now, when Ignatius Loyola formed the Jesuit order, he made it up of Marrano Jews just like himself. And Ignatius's real name was Inigo Lopez de Recalde, and he was Jesuit general from 1541 to 1556. And
I know it's kind of boring, guys. Just hang with me this first little second here. Kind of boring, but it's going to get right into details, and you're going to know exactly what the fuck is going on. Okay, by the time I'm done with this video. So, hold on, guys. Just bear with the blah, 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 and you'll start to see.
Died, he was superseded by another Marrano Jew from Spain called Diego Lainez. And when he died, he was superseded by another Marrano Jew from Spain called St. Francis Borgia. And he was the grandson of Pope Alexander VI, who was also from the Borgia family, Rodrigo de Borgia. And the Borgia family were famous for their cup of Borgia, as it was called, which was a cup of poison, when they poisoned people. And so here's the painting with the Pope.
They love to
somebody.
poison. We'll get to that.
And we know that the fourth Jesuit general was Everard Mercurian, who was an Italian, because the Pope wanted to move the Jesuit generals out of Spain into Italy. And then later on, Claudio Acquaviva became the reinventor of the Jesuit order, or the refounder of the Jesuit order, and he reigned until the end of the Napoleonic Wars. And by the time he had finished as Jesuit general, there were 13,000 Jesuits worldwide. And so even though the Jesuits were banned in 1773, they were reinstated again in 1814.
Then, on August 7th, 1814, the unthinkable occurred. Pope Pius VII restored the Jesuit order.
The Jesuits were revived in 1814 with the papal bull by Pope Pius VII, which brought them back into existence.
The suppression of the Jesuits was to last forever. It only lasted 41 years.
41 years.
Former U.S.
It wasn't
President
over.
John Adams wrote to Thomas Jefferson in 1816 about the rebirth of the Jesuits and the danger they posed to America. Adams stated plainly, "I do not like the resurrection of the Jesuits. They have a general now in Russia, in correspondence with the Jesuits in the United States, who are more numerous than anybody knows. Shall we not have swarms of them here, in as many disguises as only a king of the gypsies can assume?
Listen close.
Just as painters, publishers, writers, and schoolmasters?
School teachers.
I have lately read Pascal's letters over again,
News
and
journalists.
4 volumes of the history of the Jesuits. If ever any congregation of men could merit eternal perdition on earth and in hell, it is this company of Loyola."
That was our
Jefferson
founders.
replied back to Adams, "Like you, I disapprove of the restoration of the Jesuits, for it means a step backward from light into darkness."
Step backwards.
Coincidentally, The restoration of the order occurred 1 month before the first meeting of the Congress of Vienna in 1814.
Listen close.
The Jesuits were deeply involved in this meeting. When the monarchs of Europe began fighting among themselves, the Jesuits manipulated the circumstances to bring Napoleon back for an encore performance, the famous 100 Days. The monarchs gathered in Vienna came to terms quickly in order to meet this renewed threat, the Jesuits' careful manipulation of the events being played out like a chess game. In March of 1815, 9 days after the Congress of Vienna ended, Napoleon led his patriotic, monarchy-hating men to defeat by attacking the wrong spot of the British lines at Waterloo.
Set his
The
own
Battle of
men up.
Waterloo was deliberately lost by Napoleon, as explicated by our great Southern General Thomas Jonathan Stonewall Jackson when he reviewed the
Stonewall
battlefield.
figured it out.
And you can find this
It's like,
in
this
Dabney's
is a
great
damn
work,
setup.
his biography that he wrote
killed
on
his own
Stonewall
men.
Jackson called The Life and Times of Stonewall Jackson.
Disgraceful.
And when Jackson went there, he said, Napoleon attacked
how
from
they
the wrong
work.
position. He should have attacked over here. And that's exactly what happened. Napoleon deliberately sacrificed his army at Waterloo so that there would be the least amount of true patriots in France to resist the return of King Louis XVIII into France, who immediately restored the Jesuits and restored the Inquisition.
Sacrifice their own men. That's the kind of people we're up against. I don't even know why anybody would want to be on their side, to be honest with you. It's a setup. You'll be sacrificed. They care not for you either. Think about what side of history you're going to stand on. But yeah, Napoleon. We bought the natives, most of America, from Napoleon. Remember that. Now, there's more to it. We're going to get into it because this leads up into our time. This is the world coming in our back doors.
Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump. We're all cut from the same cloth.
Having no further need of Napoleon, the Jesuits made sure he was sent far away to the island St. Helena in the South Atlantic. While there, he was poisoned and died in 1820.
I'm sure they told him, you kill your men and we'll send you somewhere to live for the rest of your life in peace and rich, and you'll never have to worry about life. It'll be it'll be the Garden of Eden for you on your island. All perfect. Yeah, and then they sent somebody to poison him. You guys got to know how these people work. But this is getting into our founders being warned. This is who caused the Civil War. This is who killed Abraham Lincoln. Now pay attention. This is your deep state.
We have stated that the Jesuits were deeply involved in the Congress of Vienna. Ostensibly, this meeting of the monarchs of Europe, under the direction of the Jesuits, was for the purpose of reorganizing Europe, restoring the balance of power, and discussing the creation of a federation of Europe. According to author Burke McCarty, the Congress of Vienna and several other secret meetings were in reality black conspiracy against popular governments.
After
Sound familiar?
the Constitution is signed, Protestant principles are put in place in the United States. You go into the early 1800s, the Napoleonic Wars are being fought in Europe, in Russia, but finally the Napoleonic Wars have stopped. All of the monarchs of Europe convene in Vienna, Austria. The man who headed it was Clemens von Metternich of Austria. Russia was there, England was there, France was there. They all came there to Vienna to decide on a big problem in the world. There were governments of the people, by the people, and for the people that were being established.
That's right. America.
And these monarchs of Europe and the Pope himself, Pope Pius VII, and the newly formed, re-established Jesuit order in 1814, they all came together and they said, if we don't destroy these free popular governments, eventually the principles of those governments will destroy us. So at the Congress of Vienna, it was voted that they would pursue the destruction of any free governments in this world. And in 1814, the one government that was the thorn in their side was the United States of America.
8 years after the Congress of Vienna, the same parties met in Verona, Italy, for a second meeting to discuss the...
Let me explain that. Just like Jesus, you know, the cops didn't crucify Jesus for being some great man. No, they crucified Jesus because he's a revolutionary. They crucified Jesus because he was going to take the power away from them and give it back to the people. The New World Order, they don't want you to have the power, people. They don't. Remember Trump said, we give it back to you, the people? That's real. Trump's really trying to give it back to you, the people. Just like what you're fixing to hear, how our founders got tipped off of this plot and they were able to save America. Yeah, the Civil War, they turned us against each other. They started it. Our founders were smart and figured it out. This goes into your Masonic lodges. Our founders were Masonic. They were battling the Jesuits, and they got kicked out of Europe when they were discovered. But what you don't know is the Masonic lodges have been taken over, just like all the churches were taken over a long time ago. They own most of the churches. Now they own your own recruiting centers. They own the highest parts of the pyramid. That's why Trump is surrounded by them. Trump is just like your Abraham Lincoln. You guys, show the man some respect. He's battling the world. But here, let me let you hear the facts.
States of America and the threat of popular governments. For posterity's sake, on April 25, 1916, Senator Robert L. Owen of the United States Congress entered into the congressional record the secret Treaty of Verona that was signed by the monarchs of Europe. These kings of Europe, under the control of the Pope, called themselves the Holy Alliance. The first article stated, "The high contracting powers engage mutually in the most solemn manner to use all their efforts to put an end to this system of representative governments." The third article gave special thanks to the Pope for what he has already done for them and solicit his constant cooperation in their views of submitting the nations.
Now, the Treaty of Verona was an agreement between the Catholic monarchies of Europe and the Vatican to destroy the concept of representative government worldwide.
Samuel B. Morse shows conclusively that Metternich and the Jesuit order and Pope Pius VII, they all agreed that the way that they would destroy the United States would be by sending as many Catholic immigrants to the American shores as they possibly could. So thousands and thousands of Catholics were sent to the United States. Thousands and thousands of Catholic priests and many Jesuit coadjutors were sent to America to take over and destroy this government.
The treaty was signed on November 22nd, 1822, in Verona, Italy, by Metternich of Austria, Chateaubriand for France, Bernstedt for Prussia, and Nesselrode for Russia. After reading the secret treaty, Senator Owens pointed out that the threat under the secret Treaty of Verona to suppress popular governments in the American republics is the basis of the Monroe Doctrine. This secret treaty sets forth clearly the conflict between monarchical government and popular government, and the government of the few as against the government of the many.
Because of the congresses at Vienna and Verona in 1814 and 1822, there was an English statesman who was at both of those meetings. His name was Lord George Canning. And in Burke McCarty's book called The Suppressed Truth About the Assassination of Lincoln, It says in there that George Canning warned the United States government as to what was going on. Canning was in contact with a man by the name of John Quincy Adams, who was a congressman at that time. He wrote to Adams, he said, the monarchs of Europe, the Pope, and the Jesuits are planning to destroy America. Quincy Adams took the information to the president at that time, a man by the name of Jim Monroe. We know him as James Monroe. James Monroe took the information, wrote to a former president who was still alive at that time. The man's name was Tom Jefferson, who was in retirement at Monticello.
Our founders.
Jefferson wrote back to Monroe and he said, "This is the greatest affront to America since the Revolution." He said, "We need to do everything we can to oppose and stop this holy alliance set up by the monarchs of Europe,
Unholy alliance.
the Pope, and the Jesuit order."
In his letter to Monroe in 1823, Jefferson said he did not want to pass up an opportunity of declaring our protest against the atrocious violations of the rights of nations by the interference of anyone in the internal affairs of another, so flagitiously begun by Bonaparte and now continued by the equally lawless alliance calling itself Holy.
Unholy.
The Jesuits convened a meeting in Chieri, Italy in 1825 to discuss tactics for dealing with the Protestant nations. Unknown to the 13 Jesuits gathered for this clandestine meeting, a young novice named Leone was in the adjoining library. Leone could not believe his ears and began to take notes of what was being said for posterity. An English translation appeared in 1848. What Leone heard was no less than the Jesuit plan for world domination and the destruction of heretics, especially the heretics in Protestant America. As to the Jesuit plan for world government, you well know that what we aim at is the empire of the world. As to their plan for working in secret, let us prefer a secret war, which, though less brilliant, is more sure to bring us the advantage. Let us shun too much light. As to the Pope, also known as the Vicar of Christ, we may say that God designs for extermination, like the Canaanites, all the nations that obstinately refuse to enter into the unity of the Church, and that the Vicar of Jesus Christ is appointed to execute these judgments in due time. As to Protestant and non-Roman Catholics who do not join Rome, we have, however, one source of rejoicing. We cherish at the bottom of our hearts this principle, that whatever does not unite with us must be annihilated.
If you agree with me,
must be annihilated. You hear that? This is your deep state. This is your New World Order. This is your I. This is your enemy, America. Your enemy. I'm not done. What's going on right now? These people do secret stuff in the dark. Okay, they hide as your leaders and pastors and stuff. Your Hollywood elite moguls, your favorite musicians. Okay, school teachers. You heard it. They hide everywhere. Nothing's changed. This is the world coming in our back door. Okay, they do these rituals to initiate each other. Well, right now, they're initiating America as they're destroying her. They're destroying our land. At the same time, they're initiating you guys. It's part of their spells. It's part of their plots. And it's going to get really evil. So you guys need to pay attention to this next video. These people hide everywhere.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even realise this was here. I used this picture in a video the other day. That ain't Napoleon the Destroyer. Mars, the Roman god of war. that same representation of the Holy of Holies type thing, and him raising out of it Apollyon the Destroyer, the Antichrist. That is not Jesus. I don't think it takes much to work out that that's not.
Wearing masks would do more harm than good, which is what the science still supports. But now, even as the COVID-19 pandemic is turning out to be less harmful than the seasonal flu, we are being told to wear the mask. Austin, Texas has threatened a $2,000 fine for those not wearing the mask, and have even suggested that we wear the mask while at home.
We still need people to wear the mask in public. We still need people to keep social distance and isolation. Ryan, the one thing I want to try to get across today is we need to do that when we're in our homes also.
Science tells us that these masks are doing nothing but hurting our natural immune system. So why is it so important that we wear the mask? If one were to look at what is happening as if it were a massive initiation ritual, then things may begin to make more sense. The initiation ritual can be found throughout all of human history. We find it in ancient tribes and religions, all the way up to modern gangs, fraternities, and in the military. Psychological studies have taught us how initiation rituals work. Primarily, how they increase a person's desire to conform to the group they are being initiated into. The ritual is almost always the same. First, the initiate is isolated. Their familiar everyday routines are disrupted, and their normal rules of living are altered. The initiates are made to look the same. Their heads may be shaved, they may be given matching outfits, or they may be instructed to wear a mask. These techniques symbolically strip the initiate of their unique identity, so they can cease seeing themselves as an individual and begin seeing themselves as part of the group.
MK Ultra.
The wearer of the mask loses his previous identity and assumes a new one.
Part of the
The initiate is then subjected to just enough trauma to put them in a mild state of cognitive dissonance. This dissonance puts the initiate into a state of confusion and anxiety. They are now ready to be transformed into a member of the initiating group. In their isolation, thoughts they have ignored or buried for years suddenly become unavoidable. Emotions are triggered, and a new window of thought is opened within the initiate's mind. And in this state, the new normal is introduced. This worldwide initiation ritual is creating a massive separation in humanity. The obedient and the defiant are being drawn apart like a chemistry purification experiment. And it would seem that the obedient ones are being initiated into something. The new normal, the new age, the new world order. A world where science no longer matters. A world where blind obedience is all that is respected. And if this is a worldwide initiation ritual, then we can certainly expect the obedient initiated to be turned against the rest of us.
Is this speech 217?
So, you guys, quit taking part, quit following along. The world's at our back door again, and you people are falling right in the line. You guys are nothing but a bunch of sheep following along. Don't even know what you're following. These people have taken the highest seats of control. They've taken over towns and cities. Are you guys going to keep letting them tell you who you are? Keep letting them trick you into their rituals? Next thing they'll do is they'll be feeding everybody human flesh and human feces. Yeah, that's part of their rituals. It's really gross, guys. You don't want to be part of these people. No money in the world will save you for what's coming. They might give you money now, but here pretty soon when they turn that off, you won't be able to spend it. You'll be equal to everybody else, so your money won't be worth shit. I'm telling you, don't let these people buy you off, America. This is not a joke. This is not a game. The New World Order is real. These people are real. This is who Kennedy was warning us of. The speech before he was shot was warning you of these people. Okay? Nothing's changed. Our founders wrote our Constitution to keep us safe from these people, from the world that keeps trying to come in our back door and divide us. We're a melting pot, America. A melting pot. I grew up singing them songs. So did half people my age. More than half. That's how schools used to be. They've taken God out of schools. They've taken God out of the country. You guys, wake up. Wake up. They were supposed to put us into martial law because under martial law, Obama's executive orders he signed would have deemed these mayors and governors as kings and queens of their mega cities they wanted. That's what they used to bribe them with, mega cities. They hide in their dumbs underneath these future mega cities, under these sanctuary cities. One man tried to warn you a while back what's going on, and they killed him and made it look like he did it himself. All lies. We're going to get into a little bit of gray state for a second.
Hey guys, David Crowley from the Gray State Project. Tonight I'm going to be shooting a little bit for the documentary Gray State: The Rise. It's something that have truth about our surroundings and our reality. Kind of using whatever I have, just the stuff laying around the house to get this shot done. It'll probably show up toward the end of Gray State: The Rise. So I'm using my wife Kamel as the main subject. She ends up being my subject for most of these little shoots. You say hi to the kids.
Hello.
But I'm just using a couple black lights, some Christmas lights. This is going to be our constellation. Sort of seeing what we can get. It's hard work, right? Complicated, tricky little setup. But you look good. Give you a smile. Looking forward to showing you guys the results, so stay tuned.
I just wanted to show you him, a little bit of how he tried to put this together with his own hands. He didn't have Hollywood to back him. I just want to show you that before I show you the concept trailer. Then I'm going to show you what happened, why they killed him, and what he was trying to warn you of. That's what we're going to do today.
You rolling? You rolling? Yeah, we're good. This is John Wannick of the Resistance. I don't know how far this broadcast will reach. They've taken the city. They're trying to erase us. Now more than ever, we need you to act. And if you're receiving this message, you've been recruited. Welcome to the fight, Patriots. Yeah, fight! Our enemies are moving in, and they anticipate us not having the numbers to resist. It is up to you to prove them wrong. Get this message out, and wake up the Patriots! I don't need to remind you what would happen should we fail. One of these days could be our last. By helping and taking action and contributing to the cause, you'll be remembered as taking a stand against the Gray State before it completely destroys everything we know. Most of us die pointlessly and are forgotten. Do you really want to die without making a sound? Either stand now or kneel forever! He's dead. Keep rolling! Keep rolling! There are only days left. The gloves are off, the safeties are off. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Diplomacy is over. War is here. If we don't make this happen, history will not remember us!
Last night I dreamt about how things were. Then I woke up here. Last night I dreamt about how things were. Then I woke up.
Oh, people. David Crowley was trying to warn you of the hangman himself, the one pulling the ripcord right here. Yeah. This man right here is wearing an apron. A Masonic apron. And no, not every Masonic member is a bad guy. Okay, it's at the top. It's at the very top. They control everybody below them. Just like in cops, you know, you can battle cops all day long, but if you don't get the heads, they'll just keep sending more minions. It's a pointless battle. Okay, this is how it's always been. The world's at our doors again. They've taken our schools, our states, our Congress. They've taken our churches. They've taken Hollywood. They've taken all the highest seats, media. Okay, this is your deep state. This is who surrounds Donald Trump. Okay, these Jesuits are not a joke. This is the New World Order. This is Illuminati. This is the all-seeing eye. These are your evil people who exist. And they are now turning Americans on each other. They're getting us to kill each other. They're getting us to burn our own cities down for them. Their plans for America is megacities. A megacity. You guys don't even know what megacities are. Watch some Judge Dredd or some Divergent or Insurgent or, you know, Hunger Games. This is what they want. Lockstep. They want these megacities. They want us off the land. Anything that's not a megacity, you'll be chipped at the door. Be walled off from the rest of the lawless land. Anybody that's not chipped will be deemed as enemies of the state. Yeah, that means you'll be hunted. Free will hunting. That's why they turned Christians and Muslims against each other, because they knew we'd never take their mark. They knew it. They didn't want us uniting and coming against them. Just like they don't like Donald Trump, because he wants to give the power back to us, the American citizens, where it belongs. Out of these New World Order puppets' hands. Okay? He's the only choice we got right now to fight back to stop the New World Order. He's got to be the one to cut their heads, guys. That's why he says, I'm the chosen one. Because in a way, God did choose him. God will work through anybody. Prayer is powerful. Okay? If you guys pray for America, we might have a chance to fix this. If you guys continue on and don't listen to us who are warning you guys, you're going to live in these mega cities. If you even survive what's coming. There's 8.7 billion people in the world. 8.7 billion people. That means 8.2 billion people have to go. They only want 500 million people in the whole world. 500 million in the whole world. That's not very many people. That's how they're going to do these mega cities. Everybody's going to have to listen to them. There'll be no doing what you want. You'll be exterminated. Okay? If they're paying you to riot right now, you're not going to be able to enjoy your money. You're not going to enjoy anything. Okay? They plan to hunt you after they're done. After they're done, they're going to come clean up everybody. They'll send drones out in the land. They'll send hunters. They'll make it a game, probably. Sport. Put it on TV or something. Yeah, like these movies we watch with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the shit they fucking plan to do. The Hunger Games. They plan to set the world up like that. That's their lockstep. That's the end game for America's Constitution. Right now, we stand on our constitutional foundation with Trump and force him to finish the job, making America first, and we can stop the New World Order. We'll get rich feeding the world, actually, because they're going to put the world into hunger. They're probably going to turn the power off here in America this winter because Trump will start to win. They'll see that they'll have to. They'll see too many people are for righteous. righteousness. Too many people are for America. Too many people are awake. Okay, just like that kid Kyle. He tripped and fell. That probably saved his life. That's how God works. That's how faith works. You keep your faith. Somebody's getting ready to shoot you in the back of the head. You'll trip and fall. Yeah, or God will put somebody else in front of that bullet. Don't go against God's people. Don't do it. It'll be a bad choice. It doesn't end well. I'm telling you, people. Trust your heart. Come back to America. Be the hive mind of America, not the hive mind of the New World Order, the one world order. This is their plans for the whole world, not just America, the whole world. They're going to assimilate the whole world, so everybody has to take their chip, their RFID. In old Hebrew writing, they use symbols, and they use like these weird symbols for the numbers. And the W was a 6 in the old writing. Yeah, the W was a 6. So they were saying WWW as to 666, the mark of the beast system. So it's already here. That's in our phones. That's in every RFID chip already. That's how they track you. That's also how you have no freedom. People, wake up. Time's running out. America, unite. Come together as that one body that we always have done before. And stop the New World Order. What would have happened if the Civil War wasn't stopped? The New World Order was in control. They were going to take America then. They were going to annihilate America then, using our own people against us. We're a melting pot, America. Do not fall for the New World Order. Do not become a New World Order youth tyrant. Do not do it. Trump 2020 before pre-planned New World Order, COVID 1984, one world order turns to 1776 or worse, a New World Order pre-planned AMERIGEDDON. Wake up. Wake up. This has been Johnny Cage, and this is the real Mortal Kombat. Peace.